Yeah, literally though, one time we were at Trader Joe's and you were the one yelling or something. But it was like, it was super like sarcastic, satirical. We were being funny, like having a fight in public, and this lady behind was like looking at us and I was like, she's just playing around, we're just playing around. And she was like so relieved, but she was like appalled. And she was worried for you. She was so worried because Allie was like growing up.
2 weeks ago, I said goodbye to my friend and roommate of almost 3 years. Naturally, I have to tell you something I learned. The hero's journey is the crazy ride books, films, TV shows take us on as the character receives a call to adventure, encounters a mentor, goes through the trials, temptations, and battles in order to receive their treasure. But there's a part of the hero's journey no one really talks about. The return, the new status quo. We don't hear about Cinderella adjusting to palace life, or the prolonged grief of Samwise losing Frodo and being back in the banality of the Shire. We don't hear about the work which comes with being crowned king, the cleanup after winning the war, the mental health battles piggybacking newfound fame and money, the duties and restrictions attached with becoming a princess, and the weight and responsibility of a newly found creative gift. I had been on a journey of my own and was entering this new status quo process when Allie became my roommate 3 years ago. She had no idea the adjustment and grounding I was about to walk into, and that she would help me through. Deep down, I knew something had shifted, and there was something in me resisting the inevitable mundane I felt approaching as the next season of life. Because after you reach a summit, there's only a descent afterward. You can't skip it. And you can't possibly be living your best life at every moment, no matter how much our culture says we should always be thriving and that we're always one decision away from our best life. Be great or be nothing was a stupid mantra I unconsciously lived most of my life by. I was that kid who was furious at winning third or second place. If it wasn't first place, nothing else counted. I'm still trying to figure out where I picked up this idea, but I'll tell you, it has been a heavy tax on my existence. Since I'm not great at anything, there are days when being nothing meant not wanting to be here. I wanted to live my best life, or not live at all. Seriously, I'm such an all or nothing person. It's really annoying. But for a long time, the word challenge was one of my top core values. I wanted to take on all the challenges and to challenge everyone. And I suppose it was because I was still needing to prove myself worthy of existence. You can imagine then my feelings around the word consolation or consolation prizes. I just wasn't interested. I only wanted to win. To be consoled meant you're a loser, and that's the worst thing to be. But everyone has a breaking point, and when it was my turn to break, no amount of challenge or winning was useful to me. Instead, I got in line to receive consolation. I didn't need anyone to yell challenges and motivational things at me as I descended into the valley. I needed someone to sit next to me in the valley and hold my hand. I used to think consolation was shameful, but now I believe it is medicine for our souls. Challenge will take you to a summit, only to bring you down to the search for consolation when you descend into the valley yet again as you look for the next mountain to climb. Such is the human condition, and for many of us this cycle of up and down turns into a crisis of existence and meaning sometimes. So I say, what luck, how fortunate it is to have anyone to console you at all. To have both a witness and advocate, someone making the case for your presence, why you should stay a little longer, someone pointing out the point of your existence. I was lucky to have friends and family who walked beside me during this rough patch and brought solace when I needed it most. Everyone spends so much time looking for romance and love in a significant other. but I think deep friendships are so underrated. Think of the jobs you got through your friends and the crushes and loves your friends connected you with, the introductions to art, books, and music, the imprints on your identity, the friends who help you meet other great friends. And then there are those friends who stick around even when you're not living your best life. Find yourself some friends who anchor your ship when the storm comes through and help you fight to survive it. The kind of friends who don't shame you for entering survival mode. I think about the time I talked to that one suicidal guy in Colombia when he told me the next day that he'd give his life a second chance. And then reading his emails months and years later, how he was slowly rebuilding his life. For him, survival was the best he could do. I think about the people fighting cancer who survive another day and how that's such a great win. I think about how I started drinking coffee again just so I could have something to look forward to the next day because I was struggling so hard to just be here. I think about anyone going through some sort of crisis and they decide that tomorrow is still worth it. There will be a day when we will thrive again. The next adventure will call and the cycle of the hero's journey will return. But for today, there's no shame in gracefully receiving consolation from friends who help us through the days when we're not living our best lives, the days when survival is heroic enough.
Bread, that this house may never know hunger. Salt, that life may always have flavor. And wine, that joy and prosperity will reign forever. Welcome to our new home.